Look, there it is, Flushing Meadows. That's a fun name. If you're old enough, you might remember this is the site of the 1964-1965 New York's World's Fair, an event full of fun, food, and family, and a little whimsy. And of course, Walt Disney was here with many inventions for transportation that was showcased. So let's enter a doorway leading back to the past. Not too far past, but a look to the future. Yes, now we're in the future of aviation. Did you know in the 50s and 60s were known as the golden age of travel? Sounds expensive. And it was. Back then, a trip to Chicago to Phoenix might have cost around 139 bones. That would be about $1,000 today. Of course, for that price, you'd expect the creme de la creme of aviation experiences. So once on board, of course, passengers enjoyed spacious seating, plus all the complimentary services, passengers.
I'm stuck. I've been stuck inside for so long. I've got to get out. I've got to see people. I need to plan a trip. Traveling's fun. So fun. Maybe I should talk to somebody. Someone. An expert. Yeah, an expert.
All right, it is time to enlist the help of an expert. Who do I know who could help me make travel arrangements?
Hello, this is John. How could I help you?
Hello, John. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, kind of.
Okay.
How can I help you, sir?
Yeah, so actually I'm looking to travel back in time to the World's Fair in Flushing Meadows, New York, 1964, and I was curious if you had like a specific airline that you'd recommend for a flight like that?
We do, actually, and we have a special on that right now. Just let me pull it up. Hold on. It's $16. You can do the whole trip. Actually, Eastern, $14.95 right now.
Oh, wow. That sounds ridiculously reasonable. So, do you take Apple Pay? No, that wasn't around in the 60s. How about American Express?
Wait, we didn't get it. Prices are not guaranteed until ticketed, sir.
By the 1950s, companies like Trans World Airlines began flying to destinations across the globe. The company's major stockholder, Howard Hughes, helped to foster a close and beneficial relationship with the federal government, and with men like Walt Disney. Some of you may remember the iconic TWA moonliner that first appeared in Disneyland in 1955. Towering high above Tomorrowland, it was an incredible monument celebrating mankind's interest in the future of air travel. It was even taller than Sleeping Beauty's castle. After the moonliner premiered at Disneyland, TWA began working on another mid-century marvel in New York City. The TWA Flight Center helped to welcome travelers from across the globe with its incredible futuristic design. When this Grand Central of the jet age opened in 1962, the Boeing 707 airliner had already become the standard of commercial air travel. Those jet engines meant it was much faster and had much greater range than most commercial airplanes. The 707 also carried far more passengers, making it vastly more profitable for companies like TWA. It's a good thing they had all that room because 2 years later, thousands of people would be traveling to New York City to an experience like no other.
Here on this very site is to be erected, they're doing it at the moment, the symbol of the theme of the New York World's Fair, the Unisphere, being built by United States Steel.
The 1964 World's Fair in Flushing Meadows, New York, was without a doubt one of the largest international expositions the world has ever seen. It was a celebration of mankind's achievements. I should also mention that it was pretty convenient that the fair was located smack dab between some major international airports, which helped to bring in all those guests that would show up for the fair.
This is Idlewild Airport, the international door to the fair, and only 6 miles away. LaGuardia Airport is our domestic gateway to New York. You'll arrive at a new passenger terminal 6 times as big as the old one, and part of an overall $115 million modernization program.
This meant that all those major commercial airlines did their very best to catch the attention and cater to fairgoers. Of course, TWA was one of those airlines that participated in the fair in a pretty big way. Helicopters would take some of TWA's passengers from the JFK Flight Center to the Port Authority Heliport located in the fairgrounds.
Under construction is the Port of New York, New Jersey exhibit building. When completed, there'll be a heliport on the roof, the air gateway to the fair. Beneath, a restaurant and thrilling movies in the round.
Trans World Airlines was also dubbed the official airline of the Transportation and Travel Pavilion.
It's baggage that beats you off your jet. It's the finest service you can get. It's an easier trip from the moment you call on the one big airline that does it all. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world of Trans World Airlines.
Of course, there were also a number of exhibits sponsored by groups like Chrysler, Ford, General Motors, Sinclair Oil, plus airlines like Pan America and United. United Airlines definitely embraced the New York World's Fair. In fact, they described themselves as the airline of the World's Fair. United even teamed up with the legendary graphic designer Saul Bass to produce a film called From Here to There. During the 7-minute film, attendees were invited to experience a United Airlines flight taking off from LA and traveling across the country to the eastern coast. Of course, United was looking to attract as much attention as possible, so they even created a separate exhibit over at the Hawaiian Pavilion, since it was one of the places that United traveled to. Now, I can't sit here and tell you that I found any information concerning United's footprint in the Hawaiian Pavilion, but I think it's fair to say that they probably appeared alongside the tourism and industrial exhibit rather than sponsoring something like the outrigger canoes or as part of the story of the pineapple. Now, come on. Don't tell me your parents never told you the story of the pineapple. That was a 2-minute slideshow showcasing the epic and exciting journey of one of Hawaii's most delicious exports. Now, even if they weren't present on the fairgrounds, most big airlines still use the New York World's Fair in their marketing. American Airlines, for example, they encouraged fairgoers to travel to New York on one of their Astrojets.
You know this aircraft, the 707, a familiar friend to today's air traveler. But here at American, we wanted more. We wanted to boost the power output of the plane to give you greater reserve power all along the line. Pratt & Whitney powered 4 turbofans that would tick off more than 10 miles a minute. Your cruising speed is in excess of 600 miles per hour. The experienced traveler who wants dependability to fly fast, to really travel, travels American.
All right, so now it's time for us to talk about the company that I'm most nostalgic for. Eastern Airlines goes down as the only airlines to actually construct their own pavilion for the World's Fair in Flushing Meadows. It served as a lounge where their customers could catch buses to and from the airport. And if you wanted to, you could even purchase a ticket for one of their flights, which, if I'm honest, would be kind of expensive since air travel as a whole was quite a luxury back in the 1960s. Unlike today, the golden age of air travel was much more extravagant, with free drinks, room to stretch your legs, and delicious meals served by glamorous stewardesses. This also made traveling by plane a bit outside the price range of your average American family. Even still, people continued to fly to the New York World's Fair in 1965 as well. That was the same year that Eastern unveiled their new look. They got rid of the classic Golden Falcon logo and replaced it with the Wings of Man. The Eastern Airlines Pavilion remained open until the New York World's Fair ended on October 17th, 1965. Now, admittedly, I don't think we've talked about enough Disney in this particular video, so let's fast forward to the year 1971 when the Walt Disney World Resort opened in Florida. Eastern Airlines made sure to snag the title of the official airlines of the Walt Disney World Resort. After all, Eastern provided flight service to Orlando from 60 different cities.
Do you know the way to the Magic Kingdom? Sure I do. But can you fly?
You can fly to Walt Disney World in Florida on Eastern, the airline of Walt Disney World, the Wings of Man.
In addition, Eastern would go on to sponsor a brand new attraction, If You Had Wings.
I actually remember it being a young kid. I went on If You Had Wings, and that song, my father didn't stop singing it. Yes.
If you
want me to sing it, right?
Yes, do it.
See, he does these. I just know these things. I just remembered. This is all I know. If you had wings, you could do anything. You could widen your world if you had wings. And then we go, if you had wings, had wings.
If you had wings, had wings, had wings. If you had wings, had wings, had wings, had wings, had wings.
If You Had Wings would take guests on a flight of fancy through the world of Eastern Airlines. Disney's relationship with Eastern Airlines would continue until 1987 when Eastern would end their sponsorship. Of course, today, the golden age of air travel has long since ended. Still, it's fun to look back at this incredible industry and remember how important these airlines were to the success of the 1964-65 World's Fair in Flushing Meadows and the impact that they had on Disney theme parks. So I've done more than enough talking. Now I want to hear from you. Tell me, what is your favorite airlines, past or present? Also, do you have any travel plans for the future? Maybe a destination on your bucket list? Let us know in the comments section below. Oh, and just one more thing. I want to send out a huge thank you to my travel agent John, my good friend Chris, and of course the incomparable Jeff Goldblum. Make sure you check out all the information I've left about them in the description of this video.
Where do you think you're going? We haven't finished, not by a long shot. You still haven't clicked that sexy subscribe button. There you go. Drag that cursor over and click the red heels and repeat after me. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Oh, Judy Garland, somewhere over the rainbow. Oh, I love you, Judy. What's that from? The Wizard of Oz. 2 points for anybody who got that in the comments. Yes.